What's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. This is going to be a great video. I can't wait. I have Boss back on the channel. Boss, how you doing, my man?
What's up, Ash? I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing fantastic, and I saw you tweet out a couple days ago that you went from 0 to 4,000 trophies in less than 2 days, in like a day and a half, which was just insane. And along the way, more so than just that, I mean, that's an awesome accomplishment and stuff, but more so than that, when we talked privately, you said you learned a lot the second time through ladder, not just in the 1,000 to 3,000 trophy range or 3,000 to 4,000, but just about like card leveling, beating people who are higher level than you, deck building strategy when you don't have every card unlocked and every card maxed. These are frequent requests that I hear from my viewers in the comments. So I'm like, dude, let's get Boss back on. But before we go to any of that stuff, oh man, let's talk about why you started an account from 0. And that's because you got hit with the permaban. So I just want to kind of give you the floor. What was that experience like?
So it was kind of the worst feeling, kind of waking up to a ban. I was just shocked. I couldn't believe it. And then I was debating whether I wanted to quit the game. I was just kind of frustrated after that. And then I realized later in the day, I just loved the game too much. So when I got home from school, I just started a new account, started fresh. I was like, why not? We'll work our way back up.
Yeah, man. And you got, I hope you don't mind me sharing that you got banned for cheap gem buying. And do you have any thoughts or anything on that? Like I noticed, the reason I ask you is because I already saw that on Twitter, you handled it really maturely. You took full responsibility for it, and you said you agreed with the ban. So anything like anything in any comments on that at all, I guess?
Yeah, so when I first when I got them, I didn't realize it was wrong, but then I found out kind of later, like after I bought them, like how they're actually like, added and it's actually kind of a serious thing. But then since I found out like, how it all works and stuff, I realized the ban is a fair ban, because you're essentially you're cheating Supercell in a way. So
yeah, and I think that I was also critical of Supercell, how they handled a lot of the ladder bans early on, and even here on the YouTube channel I was. But when I found out that a lot of the bans were for cheap gems, I do understand how they were so aggressive and why they were so aggressive about that, because you're not just hurting Supercell, as you know now, but it's essentially, it's criminal, what these people are doing. They're essentially money laundering by buying stolen credit cards and then laundering that money through cheap gems. It's really nasty and really bad, and there's a lot of victims other than just Supercell. So I'm glad that, and I realized that not just you, but a lot of people just kind of thought that, oh, they just have a cheap gem connection, somebody else, and it's sad to see the bans, because I know a lot of people who are banned are some of the most passionate players in the community and didn't think they were doing anything super wrong. Man, I am on my soapbox right now. I'm gonna take a step off, Boss. But yeah, man, well, props to you for sticking with the game, and I'm glad that you haven't stopped playing, and thanks again for handling things very maturely. So now starting out a brand new account here. Tell us a little bit about that. What was the experience like? I mean, you had to go against everything. The over-leveled elite barbarians, everything that's notoriously frustrating about mid-ladder. So tell us a little bit. Let's start at deck construction, because this is the deck that you started out with. Now, I should say that you spent like a couple $100 out the gate. Someone in your stream donated, and you bought the special offers, right?
Yeah, I bought the special offers and a couple King's chests, but that's about it.
So you were able to unlock legendaries, and obviously not everybody can do that, but if you've been playing the game for a few weeks, I think, or a month, you would probably progress to the point that you were when you started out after you spent that money. So the first thing you learned, you told me, is that play as many legendaries as you can early on, and even mid-ladder. But my question to you is A, why, and B, because this is the deck that you used to push to 4,000 with a Magic Archer in there. Not saying it's a great deck though. So why do you include epics and legendaries, and how far can you get with a deck like this before you have to start making smarter substitutions?
So the reason why when you're like around 3K, 2K, wherever you're at, epics and legendaries are just much better, especially legendaries, because when you get it, it's already at turning standard. So you honestly could make your whole deck out of legendaries if you have an opportunity to do that. And epics are kind of same situation. It takes less times to upgrade them, and they're already a higher level. Like I think when you get an epic, it's level 6 already.
Mm-hmm.
And then certain epics like Starmie, I think are just great the whole way until even if you're under leveled near 5K, I still think it's a great card to have because it just is so great at stopping things like elite barbarians.
And Zap's going to kill it either way, no matter the level, you know? So, well, I guess to a point. So, but I think you don't have to worry about it. So, yeah, having those level neutral cards is a big part of your strategy as well. And then including all the legendaries that you were lucky enough to unlock. Now, why don't you hop into a match, by the way? We've been talking here for a while. And play whatever deck you want. You transitioned from the Golem deck to the P.E.K.K.A deck, correct?
Yeah, I decided to use the P.E.K.K.A deck. I put P.E.K.K.A in for Golem once I got a P.E.K.K.A to level 11 because my Golem's only level 10. And I thought that having it a higher level would be better. So it looks like we're going against a level 12 right now. Oh, and he goes with a Fireball right off the bat. You have to.
It's a good starting play. So you said, well, so this is transition to me my next question. We talked a little bit about deck building, and I want to talk more on that, especially how it relates to 5,000 trophy players, not just low trophy players. But here, looking like probably a tower trade situation. Of course, he's running Giant Rage. Have to have Rage. Oh, maybe not a tower trade. But I'll ask you this: what do you? So you're going against it right now. A max player basically at 4,200 trophies. This is insane. But this is what my viewers run into on a daily basis, boss. So.
Oh gosh.
You've dealt with the frustration of facing these max players like this. How do you handle it? How do you not rage? How do you not throw your device, out the window?
Well, I keep on trying to change the deck to make it better suited against like these higher level cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like again with see this Inferno Drag here kind of just melted the Giant, despite the fact that the Inferno Drag was only level 10 and his Giant was 13. It still did the same thing. It destroyed the Giant like it's supposed to. So
there's nothing more frustrating though than losing to players who are not as good as you. Like this guy, no offense to Wookiee Hunter, but like he fireballed randomly to start out. He's just spamming basically. But he has higher level cards, and that's the most frustrating thing from what I hear. I'm a dirty max gemmer, but from what I hear from my viewers, that's the most frustrating thing right there about Clash Royale. So hopefully we're hoping for progression changes in April to kind of mitigate this problem. But beyond that, you said you keep switching up your deck, and we're seeing that here. You added the Miner to snipe those wizards. You added other cards. Scar Me, you're going to make sure you include in all your decks. What else can you do to combat max level players such as this, other than just card selection?
I often try to be very patient. With Golem, for example, I would never start out with a Golem. Like in this game, I went with the Golem in the back, but that's only because he fireballed my tower for no reason.
This guy, man. This guy. Okay. So being patient, waiting for them to overcommit or make mistakes. That's huge, right? Because that's one of the advantages that you have in being a more patient and skilled player.
Yeah, this guy's fully maxed out.
Yeah, this guy's we're gonna start out with a loss here, and you guys know I'm not afraid to share losses. And this is just the part of the frustration of ladder. This is part of the frustration of what you have to go against. And I imagine that matches like this, and you can't even kill the princess, but matches like this, you just have to swallow that pill, I guess, right?
Yeah. There's really not much you can do about it, but you can try to use maybe some higher level cards, maybe try to reconstruct your deck a little bit.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that. So that match you just lost. So as if we weren't recording right now, what would you do after a match like that? Would you just say, okay, his levels were higher, I'm not going to overreact? Or do you overreact and say, okay, I'm going to put in a P.E.K.K.A because this is ridiculous,
Yeah, that's honestly part of the reason why I started using P.E.K.K.A, just because the P.E.K.K.A is just kind of just great for killing the Giant, and also it's good against over leveled stuff because it does good against I don't know, wizards. It one shots it almost, and then E-barbs. It's one of the things that you can rely on it being able to take those out, and you verse a lot of stuff like that. So the P.E.K.K.A I think comes in very handy in those situations.
Well, let's try the P.E.K.K.A deck next, and while we search for this next match, it should take probably 2 seconds. But while we're entering this next match here, talk about leveling up a deck through different trophy ranges? Like, what would you recommend my viewers? Most of my viewers are not at 3,000 trophies, although some are. But, you know, let's talk more about the, I don't know, the 4,000 to 5,500 range, right? Where people have their cards at tournament level standard, have most of the cards, if not all, unlocked in the game, but then they're in that no man's land where it takes forever to upgrade cards. If you don't want to pay, what strategy would you employ if you could do, well, you are doing things over. So what are you going to do from here? Let me ask you that.
Like if you're at about like the 5,000 range.
Yeah, like you're at 4,300 right now. And let's just talk about 42, like the next 1,000 trophies, 43 to 5,300. If somebody, you know, let's just say that you're comfortable paying a few dollars here and there, maybe play a couple grand challenges, but you're not a big spender. You're not going to spend a lot of money. You're not going to be able to open up a bunch of legendary King's Chest or whatever. So what strategy should they employ? Should they just include the same support cards and try to complement their win condition and just focus on leveling up those support cards? Or should they focus on leveling up only one deck? Or you said you switch decks a lot, though. So what would be the best strategy for just leveling up decks?
I think the trading, that's been in the game for quite a while now. I think the trading is very helpful when it comes to that. Just being able to get cards that you want, just cards that you want and maybe that you've been using for a while. Like maybe since you started playing the game, you have the similar cards in your deck and you just want to keep using those. Trading allows you to like upgrade those quicker. So I would say like you could trade, maybe try to upgrade one deck instead of switching. Like if you can't spend much, I think you should focus on one deck.
Yeah,
and
it's so
the trading,
boring though to start to do one deck. You know, I know there's no easy solution, and that's one of the problems right now with ladder progression. But it just, like, some people say, wow, I don't want to do one deck. Like, why should I have to play one deck in the game, you know? And I understand where they're coming from, but that's really the best method in your opinion, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so with trading, trade tokens are also kind of difficult to come by, but what I would recommend, and see if this kind of squares up with what you're thinking, is I would try to find one person or two people in your clan or something that are playing different decks than you are, and just try to work with them to kind of create a trade system where, okay, I don't want hogs, I'll give this guy my hogs. I'm gonna play golem, I want all this guy's golem, something like that. Would you use the same kind of methodology?
Yeah, you kind of work stuff out with them. Kind of the clan I'm in now. That's kind of what I did. I've traded with them to try to get some legendaries to level 10, and maybe gave them some stuff that I didn't want. Like I think I gave away Sparky because I didn't really want it. And they gave me, I think, an Ewis for it or whatever. So I was able to get my Ewis to level 10. Stuff like that. You kind of work with your clan to
and it sounds like a big important threshold is taking that legendary from 9 to 10, right? Do you agree? Because it's so easy to do. You only need 2, right?
Right. Yeah, that's probably the easiest thing. Once you have a level 9, just you need to get one more, whether that being getting lucky from a chest or just trading simply one time.
Yeah, and you're getting so much value off the miner in this deck and the P.E.K.K.A. It was another over-level player, which is something that, you know, it's basically every match. I'm sure some of my viewers are like, yeah, dude, who cares? You can stop saying they're over-leveled, because everybody's over-leveled, you know? Because my viewers are good players, and inherently, if you're a good player, this game, the ladder system at least, punishes you. Like, I don't want to overstate it, but it's true, because the better you are, the higher you're going to get, and then the more over-leveled cards you're going to run into, right? And you're seeing that right now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, yeah.
Let's go ahead and hop into another one here, because I want to ask you about solutions to these problems. And this is something we didn't prep for, so, you know, feel free to not have an answer for any of these questions. But, okay, so how does Clash Royale address this frustration? Because I read Reddit every day, boss, and I see a lot of people saying, you know, over the last 2 years, this is the #1 reason, not the meta or not, you know, oh, Royal Giant's too OP. It's actually just the inherent unfairness of ladder is why I see most people not, you know, quitting the game. And again, another guy who's higher level than you here. So how would you address this if you were a Supercell? Do you have any solutions to this?
I'm not really too sure. Some people were talking about like a a 2v2 leaderboard,
Mhm.
and I think that's like that could be a possibility. To give people like who want maybe a break from ladder to do that and maybe work their way up, because or maybe more there could be, I think, like more challenges or something.
I have two ideas that I'll run by you. Let me give you my ideas, and you can feel free to tear them apart and tell me how much they suck, or you can agree with them, depending, okay? So,
All right.
idea number one is, okay, so in my mind, you can do, there's two options here. You can try to fix the ladder system as is, option number one, or number two is you can just make it much easier for free-to-play players to upgrade their cards, right? So how do you do that in a way that makes sense both for Supercell and for players? So my two ideas are, number one is just, I've been saying this, I've been beating this drum for 6 months or a year now, but have challenge tokens, right? I mean, it's no secret to anybody at this point that grand challenges and classic challenges are the fastest way to upgrade your cards in this game. They have the second best rewards in the entire game in terms of bang for your buck, aside from the global tournament rewards, assuming you get enough wins. And I think they should just make challenge tickets or challenge tokens that are rare drops out of ladder chests. That will both incentivize players to play ladder more because they can get a token, a free challenge entry ticket out of one of their chests, out of one of their crown chests maybe. And it will also make challenges a little bit easier because they'll be more populated now, and right now they're really difficult, right? So that's number one. That's my number one, and it's kind of a simple-ish solution, right? And to make up for that lost income, Supercell can just continue to add more troop skins or tower skins or whatever. This match is getting pretty intense, so feel free to focus. I'm just going to keep rambling on. Now, this is the worst, right? Now he's going to BM you.
Yeah, I kind of messed up quite a bit, honestly.
Okay, it was my idea. It was so sophisticated that you were like, dude. All right. No. Does Arrows finish that off? Oh, he has poison.
I don't think he has it in cycle. I'm not sure. Oh, he's got minor. Oh my gosh.
Of course he does. Oh man. All right. Well, here's another overleveled, and then the BM. See, this is when you want to be like, okay, screw this game. I'm peace out. I'm done. That's the worst, right?
I actually thought of an idea.
Okay.
I just think I didn't think of it at the time, but a lot of people talk about this. I don't know if Supercell would be able to do it because people are saying it would mean they lose money or whatever. But I feel like, in my opinion, a good idea would be level caps. I don't know if that's something that could
that was my
ever
second
be added
idea.
into the game. But
search for the next match, and let's do one more. And then give me your level cap idea. I'll give you mine.
I was thinking, like, if you're, for example, like a level 10. Like, for example, here, I don't know if this guy has any level 12 cards, but I don't think you should be able to have, like, level 12 cards as a level 10. I think level 11 would be okay. Like, if you had level 11 commons, that's perfectly fine. Or, like, level 11 rares, I think that's all right. But I think level 12, like, 2 levels higher is a little much, and maybe it should be just within one, kind of something like that. That's what I was thinking.
I totally agree. It's something that you see in, like, Clash of Clans, where you can't... you don't see people upgrading a certain structure past a certain level without having to upgrade your town hall. I see the same method working in Clash Royale, but even more so, like, I think how you could flesh that idea out a little bit more to make level caps, that is, to make even more sense and to make it fair for free-to-play players, is you institute a level cap. You can only have, again, let's say you're level 10, your cards can only go up to level 11. Now that card levels are standardized like that, it's a nice one-size-fits-all. Now, secondarily, there should be, in my opinion, a separate leaderboard for every town hall, I almost said, every King Tower level, right? So instead of just having a global leaderboard, you can still have the normal global leaderboard if you want to. But at this point, the top 200 is always level 13, so you never see somebody who's not a level 13, maybe the first day in the season. So, in my opinion, it'd be so cool to see, okay, who's the number one town hall, I keep saying town hall, who's the number one King Tower 9 in the game, right? And then people who are free to play can vie for that position, knowing that there's an equal playing field, and it doesn't ruin the pay structure of the game monetarily for Supercell, because people are still going to want to progress eventually and get to King Tower 13. So does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I agree. I think a leaderboard idea would be great for, like, lower levels, because for me at least, when I had access to my main account, that's just part of the reason why I loved ladder. I just loved, playing it, being near the top.
Yeah.
Same with the global tourneys. I'm always I always had the incentive to be at the top, and I think giving those other players a chance for that feel would just, I think, be an awesome addition to the game. I totally agree.
Yeah, man, I mean, who knows what's coming in the April update? We still don't have any sneak peeks for you guys, but that would be my solution. Supercell has proven throughout the years to think of more outside the box ideas than I presented, certainly. So, I have trust in whatever they come up with, but that's what I would do. I would institute challenge tokens, and I would also, a big factor for me would indeed be the individual level leaderboard. That way, even the level 1 community would have an opportunity to shine there. And you could be like, hey, you know what I want to do is, because of my financial limitations, I think that I just want to stay level 11 in for a few seasons and try to get to the top of the leaderboard for level 11s, and there's no sweat. There's nothing, you could have an opportunity to shine and make a name for yourself that way, So,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it makes sense. So, let's get back to this match. Another frustrating one, but just like every other one. Inferno Tower with Swarm.
Yeah. Luckily, he's not over-leveled.
Yeah.
But that Inferno's kind of a pain to deal with, so...
That's true, he's not over-leveled, so I take that back. It's not annoying in that regard, it's just annoying the deck that he's running, but... okay, so do you think this one's over, or do you think you have a shot at this here?
I think I think I have a shot, because he actually doesn't seem to have that much of a win condition. Just the Goblin Barrel. But if he can't get that to the tower, he's not really going to have a way to break through, which is good.
That is very true. So with a matchup like this, it's basically either drawing out or waiting for him to make a mistake, because neither of you guys can really get through at this point.
Yeah, I'm hoping he messes up. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, and oftentimes I'm sure that's what you have to do in this type of situation on ladder, right? Well, he catches you without,
I think it takes a lot of patience.
Yes.
Like I addressed earlier, it takes a lot of patience. You have to kind of wait for a good opening. Don't be too aggressive. Just kind of wait for them.
So here he goes again. Plays Skarmy. Plays the preemptive Inferno Tower. So possibly an opening here. Let's see. Uh-oh. It's getting some damage against you,
Yeah, you got a little damage.
The wizards are everywhere, too. That's the card I see people complain about the most in this range.
Yeah, the wizards are kind of everywhere. And the E-barbs, maybe not as much, but definitely wizard.
So here it could be tricky. You get Skarmy ready. It's got...
Oh, he zapped. Oh, my God.
No, the zap. Well, hey, man, you didn't win a lot, but you give us great advice, and we had a good conversation about the game and about tips. But I guess at the end of the day, even if you're a pro player, you just win some and lose some at this ladder range, right?
Yeah, it's honestly really just kind of back and forth. You never really know what you're going to get, what you're going to go up against. Yeah, you just gotta not give up and just keep moving forward.
So after those matches, would you make any adjustments to these decks, or are you cool with it, or?
I haven't thought about it too much today, but I've actually thought about possibly putting in log for the Barbarian Barrel, just because I feel like I don't have sometimes if they in that game, for example, the Starmie, the Barbarrel couldn't always reach it. So I think I've actually thought about putting log in for the Barbarrel, because my log is level 10. I just got it to level 10 recently. So
okay. Well, hey man. Well, keep us updated, certainly, and we'll have you back on, of course, in the near future. And thanks again for coming on the channel. I'll include your Twitch information in the show notes below, along with your social media. Any shout-outs other than that? Anything that you obviously on Twitch you're streaming mostly this, right? And you've had more viewers than ever, right? Yeah,
this road to 4K and the continuous road to 5K.
Yeah,
I've definitely been pulling more viewers, and it's
crazy.
Just I'm getting a lot of support climbing back up. So
yeah, it's different and it's fun, and it's cool to see somebody a pro caliber player starting fresh. So thanks again for coming on the channel, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I also want to give a shout out to Bag, actually, because his account was banned, and like me, in about the same time frame, he actually got to 4K as well. So I just wanted to congratulate him on that as well.
Awesome, man. Well, big shout out to Bag, who's a regular guest on this channel as well. So we'll include his information as well if people want to check out his stream info. So, hey, boss, thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, Ash.
No problem, man. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you picked up a few tips, or at least, you know, empathized a bit with Boss in his mid-ladder struggles, or his mid-ladder journey, I guess is a nicer way to put it. And check out Boss's information, guys. He's a great streamer. Check out everything in the show notes below. And, of course, a huge shout-out to Stats Royale. You can check out his stats there as well. And a big shout-out to Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Check out Bren's information in the show notes, guys. Thank you for watching. And, as always, take care, guys.